make money first, right? If you see like the $1 billion opportunity and you don't care about it at all, but you know for sure you're gonna be able to see that through to the moon, like cool, go for it. All of our means of commerce are, Instagram and TikTok. It's all areas where we get to choose where we want to play. We're going the entrepreneurial, ultra optimized lifestyle. What does that look like? Like, how do you unlock genius in the average person? A lot of people say that. It's like, how do I find my first product? It's like, A, stop consuming and start observing, because the shit you're being fed on your feed all day is profitable opportunities. I'm operating in this space and I'm trying to, find what's new and work with guys like you, work with guys like Jimmy, just who is stacking onto that playbook. And that really is the way to be able to, not do it once, but do it again and time again and continually applying that knowledge and getting better. And so I think that's where the success today has come from. But look, at the same time too, like, I think I've got an awesome business and I do hope this will be one that, can run to that 9-figure or bigger rate, but there's a lot of guys crushing it and there's always a lot to learn from. Right. So I don't think my business right now is currently very big. I mean, I don't know. It's
That's
like,
funny.
there's
just levels, man. It's crazy.
I talked to a guy yesterday who started in the Amazon space. I mean, it's all public, but they're seeking 50 million EBITDA. So 50 million profit a year. E-commerce native Amazon brand, Mary Ruth, and they're seeking $1 billion exit. And that just shows like what's possible from this internet shit. I mean, he started at the same time as me and another friend, Physician's Choice, similar deal, right? And so
Wow.
it shows the staying power. I think all of us get lost in the moment in the sense of like we're here today and we got to get it, but the internet's only getting bigger. E-commerce is only getting bigger. Like none of this shit's changing. So if you're able to create a healthy, sustainable, long-term business, game over. Sky's the limit. That shit'll compound. You'll get wealthier and wealthier.
Right. Yeah, that's something people don't think about enough when they're getting into business. You're totally right. So would you consider almost like even starting a drop shipping business as opposed to just building a brand? Do you think it's a waste of time? Do you think people are wasting their time by doing that?
I do. Just because there's no sustainability in it. Like if you're trying to get some marketing skills, like if you're trying to learn TikTok organic or something like that, and you're 17 years old, sure. But I guess my take is like, why not focus on, like, why wouldn't you apply that same energy to something that'll go long term? Like that was one of the things I get a lot of credit for early in the Amazon space. A lot of people were just throwing junk up there and they'd make money. But I was like, no, there's like this, Coca-Cola is the most valuable brand in the world. Apple is one of the most valuable. Like, how can you create a brand? And so I would just encourage people, even at a young age, to be thinking about it like that. I'm really not big on the whole drop shipping thing personally.
No, I think that's actually really great advice because people get into this cycle, like you said, of just like, throwing up junk. And I think I agree with the fact that it's good to test. Like, it's like whatever if you want to learn some skills, but still that energy could just be used right away to sell something you actually really believe in. So that's a really powerful concept. I actually saw that you talk about that. So I want to ask you, do you think, in your opinion, it actually serves you like a benefit to be following something you're passionate about as opposed to something that just, might make money?
For sure. And don't get me wrong, like, make money first, right? If you see like the $1 billion opportunity and you don't care about it at all, but you know for sure you're gonna be able to see that through to the moon, like cool, go for it. So I would never say don't do that. But at the same time, it just comes back to this, like I can sell anything on Amazon. Like my skill set is SEO and ads and all this shit, right? So why wouldn't I go into an area where I can speak the language a little bit better, that I'm actually interested in, and days I don't like it, or days like things are frustrating, I like it enough to keep going. So I really think that's the beauty of the internet. And it's not like Amazon specifically, right? It's like all of our means of commerce are, Instagram and TikTok. It's all areas where we get to choose where we want to play. And so with that in mind, I would definitely say lean into an area that you are excited about and don't mind doing for the longer term.
That's great. So let me ask you this. Is that how you were able to come up with these ideas then? Is like you're testing. So for example, for
for
Top
sure.
Shelf, you're like,
Yeah,
I'm the user, right? Like you're basically the user.
absolutely. Like I don't do any like the market split test or this. Like I am my market. And
Yeah.
with Genius, I was too. It's like, okay, we're going the entrepreneurial, ultra optimized lifestyle. What does that look like? Like, how do you unlock genius in the average person? And so, like, that's how that entire brand was built. And now we've rounded into this new era where you've got the Tate stuff and masculinity, and it's like, okay, that's obviously huge. It's obviously interesting. Testosterone's like a thing I've always been interested in. And so let's build a brand around that. And like, I get to further like broaden my own horizons in studying and researching, and the product ideas just kind of flow naturally. A lot of people say that. It's like, how do I find my first product? It's like, A, stop consuming and start observing, right? Because the shit you're being fed on your feed all day is profitable opportunities. You're hearing people's problems, and your job as an entrepreneur is to serve those problems. And so that's really where the framework for coming out with your first product should start from.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you basically touched on it a couple of times there. You kind of are helping these people in something that you know about transform themselves into, whatever that desired outcome is. That's really, really powerful for people to start thinking about when creating their business.